For this project, we're going to distribute properly the payroll from a third-party provider. In this case, they have already distributed the checks using a very small number of general ledger accounts. And we have got a new file in which we have a much more detailed distribution for the third-party payroll. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to have to replace each one of these checks one by one with the correct new chart of account distribution and then delete the other check. Unfortunately, the other check has already been cleared, so it's going to slightly mess with our bank reconciliation, but it's not too difficult to fix this as long as the numbers match. When we start out with, you want to look at, we're going to be in the vendors section on QuickBooks, and you'll see where we're working with TriNet. TriNet is the name of the payroll or the PEO that they use. And these are all the checks that have been written in 2019. The first thing you want to notice is that there's several smaller amount checks, $1,320, these type of checks. You're going to skip these. We're not going to do anything with these. We're going to be distributing the large dollar amounts, the 35,000, the 38,000, the 43,000s. You'll also notice that there's a check here that's already been that I've already done. This January 23rd has EFT in the number, and that's a good indicator that I've already done it. This is the only check that I've done, and after you do one, then it's going to be easy to identify the one that you did compared to the one they did, because theirs will not have EFT in it. The other thing to notice is on the right hand side I have the report that we're going to be using. That is what's going to give us the distribution for each one of these checks. Now I've got it halfway onto the screen so that I can do this video. If you feel more comfortable to put it into the right screen, that's fine. And on the right screen, you'll also notice there's a file open box that has all these reports listed by date. The first one listed is January the 2nd, 2019. And you'll notice that up here in this report, it says January 2nd, 2019. So we're going to be replacing the check that's for $35,929.58, and you'll notice that they have a check in their system for January 3rd, which is when they've most likely entered the date, and this check for $35,929.58 is the one we're going to replace. So the first thing that you have to do is to go up to Memorize Transactions, or this MEMTrans button up here, and when we click on it, you'll see we have a check that's already been saved for TriNet payroll distribution. It's going to be easier for you to use this check than it is for you to actually replace the check that they actually wrote, or go into that and make the changes, because they don't have nearly the distribution that we need to do. And so it's going to be a lot easier and faster for you to do it this way. So let's go ahead and double click it, open it up. And as far as a quick check, you're going to notice it has EFT as far as the number. It's going to have general operating, which is the same as the report says it's supposed to be. Now, the date is where we want to change it. We want to change it to the report date, which is 01/02/19. And then we want to change the amount to the amount on the report, $35,929.58. And now we're down into the distribution. Now, this is the distribution for the January 23rd check that I've already done, but you're going to notice that a lot of these things are going to be very much the same each week, especially into the officers and those type of things are very close. So going down this report, you'll notice the first thing is officer salary is $1,500, and that's what we have, so we don't have to do anything there. The FIC company match is also $113.10, which is what we've got. Now the FUTA, which is the federal unemployment tax, is on the report $888, and we have $886, so we need to change this to $888. And then the state unemployment, STU, is $1,568, and we've got $1,567. There's usually probably some rounding on percentages each week, that's why it changes. Our workman's comp insurance is $60, that's $60. The pension match is $315, and it's actually $316 this month. And the medical insurance is $64.02, which is the same. And then if we scroll down a little further, we'll see that it's $24.70 as far as service fees, and other insurance deduction $738 minus. That's the same. So when it comes to this first page, that's really only the minor changes that we had to make on it. So that makes it easier. So now when I click on back over to the PDF and move down to the next page, the indirect labor, which is titled right here on this as well. If we scroll down to the indirect labor, we have our estimators at $23,005 here, and it's only $15,074.50 on the report. And our overtime is $360. And we have 0 retro pay. And then we get to maintenance regular wages. It's $1,056. There is no overtime and no retro wages, so we can scroll down, and then the manager's exempt is $38.25, which is the same. And then we get down to the office regular wages, which is $776. Excuse me, it's not office regular wages. Office regular wages are 0 in here, so we will put this to 0. The manager's regular wages that are not exempt is $776. Does he have any overtime? No, and no retro pay. So if we just keep scrolling, then we get down to the additional benefits. Holiday pay, we have $730. We don't have any tool allowances or bonuses, but we do have vacation or PTO time, and that is $576. So we get down to the FICA company match, which is $658.51. And we get $51.62 in the federal unemployment tax. Under the state unemployment, we got $91.22. Workman's comp, we've got $224.46. The IRA 401k match, $58.27. We've got $358.53, which is the same for the medical. We have 0 for dental, 0 for vision, and life insurance is $11.60. Now our payroll provider fees for this month, or service fees, are $98.80 for this week. Other insurance deductions coming back out is $58.17. Employee advances $50, and that one is complete. So now we go to the third page. For direct labor, we have $11,669 even. We have no overtime, we have no retro pay. For detailing, we have $1,035, which is the same. We have no overtime or retro pay. Our painting is $47.03.40. And we've got paint, no overtime. And then our sublet mechanical, we have $1192.31, and there's no overtime. On our holiday pay, we have $18.64 even. Small tool allowance, we have $369.60. This print's small. I can't hardly see this. 0 for bonus, 0 for PTO or vacation time. And then so our tax now is, we got 15, 14, 31. Federal unemployment, we have 118, 77. Our state unemployment is 209.84. Our workman's comp insurance is 446.61. Our IRA 401k match is 252.25. Our medical insurance is 320.10. And we have no dental, we have no vision. Life insurance is $495. Our service fees for that week is $185.25. Our credits, we have $80.31 for the employee insurance deductible. There's no advances. There's no payroll provider. Now, in this case, you'll notice that there's a home office down at the bottom. If there is actually a fourth page, it will be the home office, and there'd be two possibilities of two entries. That would be in the rebates and allowance. At the very bottom, it's actually called the state unemployment rebates, or the payroll provider, the billing cycle credits. And those are the last two lines on the fourth page, if there's a fourth page. There's only a few times that there'll be a fourth page, but in this case, since there is nothing for this one, we want to change this to 0. Now our checking is to check to see if this tab and this tab are the check matches, and it does. So then we hit save and close. It's going to give us a warning for 90 days. It's also going to give us a warning about that we didn't put classes on every single line. And now this is actually complete. So you go through at this point and you go back to the check that we just did into the vendor. You'll see there's the two checks. Go ahead and open up this check here and hit Control the D for delete. Now it is already cleared, so we're going to get a warning in regards to that. That's fine. And then we close this one. And that is what we do. And so you go on to the next one. You close this report. And then you close this report, you'll notice that there's a folder into the listing that says completed. You would just take that PDF that we just did and just drag it into the completed folder. And that way it doesn't get confused with another one. And then you just open up the very next one, which is January the 9th. Get it to where you can see it, where you want to see it, and once you've got it to where you want, then go ahead and open up the next check. And that is literally how we do this step by step.